Hey YouTube, how the heck are we doing? It is Foul Play here, and we're back again for some more Pauper action. So we're continuing where we left off from with Cartouche of Knowledge in the deck, in the main deck at that. So really good protection against Clan Shaman and main deck interaction at that. It giving us potentially the game 1 win, and then us only having to take one game out of games 2 and 3 is pretty significant. Now with the main deck, I haven't really changed too much. I have, however, adjusted Ancestral Mask from 4 down to 3 and Armadillo Cloak from 2 up to 3. The rest of the spell base remains the same, including the land base. And if you're new to the channel, to enable the Cartouche of Knowledge, we've got 3 Cave of Temptation instead of the Ash Baron. Between that, our 3 Commune, our 4 Utopia, and our 4 Abundant Growth, it should be more than enough most games to get us there. Now with the sideboard, I have actually made a little bit of an adjustment here. So previously I've been running the Red Elemental Blast as a way to help deal with the Fairy matchup, Delver Fairy slash Ninja. However, I was rethinking the matchup a little bit, and I think I positioned myself wrong on that, and I think Scattershot Archer is better placed for quite a few number of reasons. I'll go into those a little bit later, hopefully when we verse the deck. But for now, we're going to be going for Scattershot Archer. Blue Elemental Blast, still really good for that burn matchup. Young Wolf, good for Edict matchups. Flaring Pain for the Catstall Gate deck matchup. And Natural Return is a bit of a catch-all for against everything else. With all that said and done, let's get into the leg. So match number 1 against Krapave. Our opponent has mulliganed. I think we'll go ahead and keep this hand. It's a little bit aura light, but we do have creatures. We have a little bit of edict protection in the second Bogle. We have good color access here, so fingers crossed for a good one. Arbor Elf. Alright, so if this is the Ponza deck, we're probably in trouble, although we do have a land heavy hand, so it might not be the worst. However, trying to resolve Ancestral Mask will probably be a task and a half. Alright, so Utopia Sprawl. So opponent's Utopia Sprawled for blue, actually. So this is something a little bit different to what I was expecting. I was expecting the Cascade land destruction deck, but also a wild growth as well. Very interesting. Wait a minute. Why did we just draw 2 cards? That's very strange. Never mind. We did not draw 2 cards. We drew a singular card over the course of 2 turns. Well, 1 card in each of our turns being on the draw. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 1. I think I actually missequenced that. Never mind. I should have attacked for 2. I didn't filter my mana through. I didn't think properly. I want to try and set up for a Cartouche next turn. And I don't want to play out Abundant Growth into that Cartouche, because then our land gets destroyed potentially. We don't know exactly what our opponent is on, but you could have like a semi-good guess, right? Trample when it ETBs. You have Initiative. What is the Initiative? Token. Whenever one or more creatures player controls deals combat damage, that player takes the initiative. Whenever you take the initiative and beginning of the upkeep, venture to the Undercity. Okay, so our opponent is doing one of these D&D inspired themes here. Alright, so we'll float. We'll Utopia Sprawl. I think we can Utopia Sprawl for blue here. Our opponent has enchantments, but we don't have a way to push the damage through just yet. I think we take like 1 turn off. We Cartouche of Knowledge to give ourselves that evasion that we need. Drawing a card. Next turn, Ancestral Mask plus all of the enchantments my opponent has should give us the damage that we need to just kill them in 1 attack, right? Alright, cool. We'll take a land. Thank you. Oh, opponent plays a creature with flying, so it's not over just yet. ETB have taken the initiative. Alright, put 2/1/1 counters on target creature. He's putting it on his Trampler. 7, that puts us to 13. No attack with the Arbor Elf. 1 card in hand. When it gets like the free chump here. So our Ancestral Mask gives 6. If we play out our Utopia Sprawl first, our Ancestral Mask gives 8. We find Commune as well. Commune is worth doing to try and get our Trample online, right? Alright, so we'll Commune first. Ethereal Armors. Alright, well, we'll take an Ethereal Armor. Currently, we have access to 2, 3, 4 mana, so we can Bogle plus an Aura. Alright, let's go here. We'll Utopia Sprawl here, giving ourselves access to 1 more mana. Bogle off blue. Now we can Ancestral Mask on this Bogle. This one's a giant ass blocker. Attacking for 8 in the air. Opponent's not forced to block, but they may decide to. Okay, looks like they've decided to. We have really good blockers on the ground for next turn. They keep the initiative, which can make us lose life. Wild. Alright, so opponent makes us lose life. Alright, so our opponent puts Ethereal Armor on top of our library with Temporal Spring. I remember this card from when I first started playing Magic with my friends. It's pretty interesting. So I guess they're just looking to maybe stall us out or something. This is Sorcery Speed, so I don't think we have to be too worried about it. No, whatever, we'll pay the 1. Big beats. And let's read this right. Forge. Or Lost Well. I guess we forge because it gets towards trap. Maybe I was supposed to leave one of these guys back to block with. Double up on the flying creature and I get the win. Okay, yeah, I just punted super hard. I did not even think. Our opponent... I think we're okay. I think we go to 1 and we get out of it. I don't deserve to, though. I'm not used to playing with these D&D cards. This is actually the first time playing against them. But I should see lethal when it's on the board, right? Alright, so we lose that one to our opponent casting Fire, and it's a well-deserved loss due to the misplay. So I think generally in this matchup, we probably want to just race our opponent, ignore what they're doing, focus on what we're doing. I don't see a huge number of cards in my sideboard that I think are overly relevant. Obviously, Return to Nature interacts with their enchantments. Their enchantments are mostly just like color fixing, right? It's not like game winning destroying one of those. Maybe if it's in our opening hand and we cast it on turn 2, it could be pretty good. But generally speaking, if you top deck it on like turn 4 or something, it's probably useless, right? Our opponent is a green deck and probably running Fog though, so I think I want to bring in 2 Flaring Pain. As for the board outs, I think Ram Through is decent here. Probably like board out 1 to 2 Cartouche. We'll ditch a Cartouche, we'll ditch a Commune, something like that. No lander, throw, alright, throw again. So the thing I found with this Pauper deck is it mulligans a lot. I think Armadillo Cloak is arguably going to be our strongest card in the matchup, and we can probably ditch the mask. I think it's Stitch Abundant Growth. Yeah, I think the power level of Cartouche plus Armadillo Cloak should be enough as long as we don't get too land screwed. Worst case scenario, Utopia Sprawl this next turn. Alright, our opponent is Utopia Sprawling. We get a free attack for 1. Land? Not land. Alright, so we will Utopia Sprawl for white. Attack for 1. Next turn we have Cartouche. Opponent hits up the Lanoir Visionary, drawing a card. Alright, well, we do have something to do with our side mana as well. Extra hexproof guy. Attack for 2 because first strike. Another Lanoir Visionary for our opponent. Opponent now plays a gate, so maybe they've got some of the cat gate variants in the deck, even though they're going for something a bit jankier. If we play Ancestral Mask, we add 2, 4, 6 damage to our creature, making it 8 power. My concern with that is they just chump block once and we lose a lot of tempo. If we go ahead and cast Armadillo Cloak here, that will guarantee a good amount of damage, right? Yes, we could be in a bit of trouble to like Nature's Claim, but I'm still sort of new to the format, but I haven't seen that getting played very much. Opponent cycles the Ash Barrens, finding a mountain. Alright, opponent plays the Sneaky Bird. Alright, and initiative, getting Forest, followed by casting Jewel Thief, which creates a treasure token. Nothing too exciting on the Jewel Thief. We find Rancor. It's a good find. We've already got Trample though. So, Mask is the superior play. Attack for 12. It's a fair bit. It's a fair bit to deal with. Alright, let's take control. Throw down on the Vigilance token. Why not? Could be like a sacked blocker. I guess if they want to regain the initiative, they'll just attack with a flyer though. Another Sneaky Deaky. Yep. Alright, so he's buffing up his flyer. We're on a comfortable 36. Our opponent is on a 1, and they concede. Alright, so as we were saying just before, we'll sort of ignore what they're doing and do what we are designed to do, right, instead of interacting. I mean, we didn't see any fogs. I don't want to like just take out Flaring Pain and just lose to fog though. We sort of got a little bit lucky there because we hit the Armadillo Cloak early on as well. Alright, game 3, opponent keeping their 7. This is technically keepable because we could turn 2 Bogle. That's a little bit slow though. I think we can do better. Alright, well, down again. Keep this one, throw like our extra hexproof guys. So we got like one hexproof dude who's a 3/3. That's not too bad. Alright, Mask is a solid draw. Stick to the game plan. Alright, we hit another forest. So sprawl for white. Tap our white mana. Lose the one floating. Attack. Our opponent could interact with us potentially. I don't think we win anything by stalling out though. A lot of the enchantment interaction is sorcery speed. Like the main one that's played is that 2 mana spell with Convoke, and each time it's convoked it destroys an extra enchantment. In a deck which goes wide with creatures, that's almost certainly going to be a more viable option than Nature's Claim, Natural State, etc. Alright, opponent finding their mountain, all that. We'll mask, we'll attack for 10, our opponent growing our guy for us. Very nice of them. I think they chump. Yeah. 4 cards in hand still, so they've been a little bit delayed. Alright, so opponent goes for the Scry 2 initiative in upkeep instead of like a Forge initiative, which seems fine because tokens on Arbor Elf seems kind of poor. All right, here's Temporal Spiral Spring. Read that right the first time in my head. That's kind of a bummer because we've not got much going on with a 3-3. They're sort of like punting a little bit here, so I guess they don't have anything else to do for the turn. We just like rip another on anyway. I mean, I don't mind if I do. Oh, we've tapped 1 mana too much. That's fine. No cards in hand. We're not representing anything anyway. Attack for 10. We could get in on the side attack, but then that allows our opponent to retake the initiative with Arbor Elf, and I think blocking might be a little bit stronger depending. Alright, here is our boarding party. So our opponent's deck is a little bit similar to... Okay, Lightning Bolt, that's a fine hit. Does that retake this, or is this just damage from a player? Yeah, it's just damage from a creature. Haste Cascade, we can chump. 2/1/1 counters on a creature or scry. I think we want to scry here. If we hit like a trample aura, it just wins us the game, right? So bottom both of these. Find Mask, that's pretty good. And in for the attack. So yeah, similarities to the Ponza style deck. Only instead of the land destruction, they've got a large number of these Dungeons and Dragons style creatures. We take the win after punting game 1, but it seems like a decent matchup for us, generally speaking. So, welcome back for match number 2. We lost the die roll this time versing EHDM. Opponent keeping 7. I think we'll keep this. We can get access to Cartouche pretty well. Hopefully the top 2 draws reveals a land, so we have a little bit of tempo. We'll look for our business auras after that. So, finding Rancor. We'll kick it off with Scout. Pass it back. Alright, so we have the mirror match. I haven't played this in a little while. Ethereal Armor from the opponent. Flying should be pretty sweet in this mirror match, right? I guess we Abundant Growth after breaking on 2 mana twice. Hopefully. Okay, so we do find. Throw down Rancor. We can't attack. Our opponent's creature's got first strike. So in this matchup, probably the absolute powerhouse is going to be the Ancestral Mask, right? Opponent's enchantments buffing yours. Opponent finds forest, plays forest, attacks for 7. No blocks from us, says nervously. Maybe I should block that before they start going too crazy. Alright, we brick on mana, but Mask is a good draw. I think we Cartouche to spin the wheel. Let's see. So if I counter right, we have an attack for 4 this turn, and attack for 14 next turn. It's not quite enough. Or if our opponent plays any auras, I guess that aren't Mask and aren't Ancestral Mask or the life-gaining one, Armadillo Cloak, then we win with this line. So any Rancor, Ethereal Armor, Cartouche our opponent plays will help us, and we'll get the win on Crackback. If he plays either of the 3 drops, we just accept the loss, basically. Alright, there's Ancestral Mask. Not sure why that took so long to count, but yeah, that's going to be GG. We're a little bit stalled on mana there. We could have played out like a chump blocker and all of that, and I guess that would have got us the victory this game. Most of the hexproof decks are running 8 sources of trample, though. It might be that last card in their hand even. You don't know. I don't feel like the line we took was particularly bad. We accepted what we were losing to. So in this matchup, Return to Nature comes in as a 3-of. We're going to take out Ram Through. Cartouche is like good evasion, but a Silhana Ledgewalker can block still. No, wait, we can block a Silhana Ledgewalker, but yeah. Maybe it's okay. Maybe we go like 3 Cartouche and we take out a Cartouche Solidarity. Yeah, I think this is fine. No creature hand, well. It's another like mana awkward hand. I'm gonna keep it. Throw a guy. We don't have interaction, which sucks. Yeah, I think I like Sprawl for blue this turn. It lets us use our mana most effectively. If we hit land, we can Bogle plus Cartouche. If we don't hit land, we can double creature, which is fine. Alright, no attacks from our opponent. So we'll go in on our Bogle boy. Cartouche it up. Hitting more little side characters. No mana though. Bit annoying. We're like tempoing ourselves out pretty hard here. So Mask is a hard hitter. We do have blockers for days though. Quite literally. As long as our opponent doesn't get trample, we'll be in an okay spot. So here our opponent 5 cards in hand, us 4 cards in hand. If we play Mask out now, that's pretty soft to Enchantment Disruption. If we play it out now, that gives us 6 power, or 6 additional power, so we'll be attacking for 8. With Cartouche on the following turn, that would be lethal. These Bogles as chump blockers sort of lose value the more time they sit in our hand though. I think I'm going to initiate by Cartouching, drawing a card. Then we can play a chump blocker, hopefully. And this is a little more reserved. I think it makes the best out of a bad situation with these Bogles though, right? Alright, so just an attack from the opponent. We'll take it. And Ledgewalker. Alright, so we'll Mask. We'll attack. We're still on a very healthy 20. Our opponent's been unable to deal damage here. Unsure what's in their hand. Maybe they're slow rolling the enchantment hate. Apparently not. Defensively, there's probably an argument to bring in a Cartouche of Solidarity. I'll take out a Cartouche of Knowledge for mana efficiency and color efficiency purposes. Like, on the draw, we're going to be more likely to block, right? So that extra 1/1 body, that first strike is a little bit more important. Alright, so we had to mulligan a bit, which sucks, but we'll go ahead and keep this one. Goodness. This is like, opponent keeps 7, by the way. So this is an awkward hand because we can't ditch our lands. We have to ditch one of our white cards. Our white cards are our best cards in our hand, and this is the best combination of 2 enchantments is these 2, but we can't cast either. I think we have to ditch the Armadillo Cloak, but that really sucks losing that lifelink. I think this is going to be the most consistent hand that does something though. Alright, turn 1 commune for the opponent, finding planes. So, I guess turn 2 creature could be Silhana. Flying blocking as a 2 of could be useful in that spot. Oh, Standard Bearer. Oh god, we just don't beat that card. I guess Cartouches enchant a creature we control, so we do actually get a little bit lucky. Alright, well, we are like ill-prepared for a matchup where our opponent's boarding this in. It's a pretty common card for Bogle players to have and to board in against one another. Sometimes you next level it with either your own ones or also Gut Shot. I don't have access to either of those cards in my deck though. We also, unfortunately, sided out our Ram Through. So this, our 1 of Ram Through. So this is going to be real awkward. We can still find like Cartouche of Knowledge to help as well though. So we're drawing to 4 Cartouches. It's pretty bleak. We can like block and reset. I think I like that. That seems good. But our opponent has no auras in hand. Block and reset seems absolutely fine. I guess maybe it was a misplay attacking in the previous turn. Topia Sprawl, sure. I mean, the problem is they're just going to stall out the board state, right? What am I doing? I have Cartouche of Knowledge. I should be playing that and attacking in the air. Okay, I'm an absolute pelican. Excuse me. I'll let myself out. All right, opponent on the creature heavy variant of the hand. I guess we play a creature, play a Cartouche, draw a card, find land, attack with our side guy. Alright, so our opponent could be 2 health lower if we didn't punt. Wow, they are very flooded on creatures. Holy smokes. This isn't an enchant creature you control or something, is it? It is not. Alright, opponent finds Ancestral Mask. That sucks. We'll throw our Vigilance token in front of that one, shall we? Yeah, okay. Didn't attack with any of his side characters. Damn, another Utopia Sprawl. That's a bummer of a draw. Alright, we keep swinging in. Other guys might have to block on the ground here. The moment, I kind of want to draw creatures, like, for 6 turns. That would be lovely. If at all possible, deck. Or maybe we let, like, 1 Standard Bearer attack happen, but then we die wide. Or trample. That's a bit cringe, opponent. Alright, GG's. Alright, welcome back for match number 3 versus Enos Karai. We won the die roll. I'm going to be on the play. This, I think, is a keep, but it's not a great keep. So we'll start off with our turn 1 guy, pass the turn. Alright, and we find the Sentinel's Eyes. So start things off, abundant growth on land. Opponent plays an untapped land, nothing else too much. So I think we Sentinel's Eyes here. I don't think we need to be worried about like a 1 mana Celestial Flare or something. That's a sacrifice and attacking creature effect. Oh, goodness. We are up against some shenanigans here. All right. Opponent is the Monarch. Black-white. We'll kick it off. Utopia Sprawl. I think the play is sprawl for white. Let's sprawl for blue, actually. We still have access to white here. If we draw like a white aura, we can go here. If not, we can play Bogle. So flying 3/3 vigilance. This guy's got first death touch. If we have first strike, we can block. Otherwise, it's a bit difficult. We can jump block on the ground. We potentially play into an edict effect if we jump block on the ground, though. I think the best move is attack, gain control of the monarchy, play out a guy, and we're not planning on blocking with that guy. Oh, commune, great draw. Alright, they attack. We'll let it through. Monarchy transfer. I think it's great Dark Rituals in this format. This format has so many freaking like spicy cards. It's wild. Alright, ETB, gain life, draw a card. Sure. Armadillo Cloak, let's go. Alright, how do we want to do this? I think we still commune first. We're looking for that first strike. Don't find it. Alright, that's a bit lame. We'll take the Cartouche. It's still a cantrip. And if we go 1, 2, 3, we can Armadillo Cloak here. Did I do this wrong? Hold on. Pay white. Let me undo then. Goodness. All right, blue. We have to filter for that white mana, don't we? Okay, so we'll just go white here. Okay. Right, I am a dingus, but still, we'll get our attack. We'll gain some life. We'll reclaim the monarchy. Get that card draw. Oh, here comes the Ephemerate. So ETB of gain a life, draw a card. Cycles Ash Barrens. Alright, so opponent found and played Plains. Attacking, 7 cards in hand. They're going to be drawing to that 8th. We're getting them like closer to dead. At the moment it's still 2 attacks. Oh, opponent plays Spirited Companion. Spicy. Alright, clean up. They have to discard one. Probably a land. Journey to Nowhere. Oh, sheesh. That's something. It's definitely a scary something. Alright, so we will kick things off by casting Cartouche. And we'll go in on the same guy. Alright, so tap mana, Utopia Sprawl here. We'd probably sprawl for white, even though it means we'll burn a white mana, but I mean... Holding... Oh wait, no, we do mana perfectly. Never mind. I definitely know what I'm talking about. So we'll put our opponent to 2. Monarch, draw a card. Alright, so we did draw an extra scout. We draw end step, so there's no way we can sequence that around playing it in our second main. Otherwise, we could potentially look to play around double sacrifice a creature. Alright, opponent, another Inspiring Overseer. This trample, by the way, has been really, really impressive because this flying has been really impressive. We do not have access to first strike, and with this Death Touch creature, it would have been an absolute brick wall. We're really fortunate that flying is such a good stat. Opponent conceded the game and showed a handful of stuff which I clicked past and away from. So, Young Wolf here, anti-sacrifice a creature. Scattershot Archer could be spicy for these flyers, right? I don't know if that's getting like too fancy. Maybe like 2 is enough. I think Ram Through is a bit weak. This little bit awkward here with cards to board out. Flying was kind of a good stat there. I think Scattershot Archer might just be a touch too greedy. Maybe I'll bring in 1 for a Ledge Walker. We still need to cut 1 card. Might just be Commune. Let's go with that. It might not be optimal, but I want Scattershot Archer for those flyers. It's probably greedy and incorrect. Scattershot Archer hand. No Hexproof creature. No Edict protection. Alright, this is a bit better. We'll keep this. Throwback Forest. Yeah. Cave at least gives us access to white mana. Opponent keeping a 7. Alright, we find our white mana. Lovely. Alright, so opponent plays out. Land passes to us. We find another creature. Before playing any enchantment, we'll play Gladecover Scout. In case of Diabolic Edict, we don't want to have to instant speed sack in response to playing the Aura and get 2 for 1. Well, I guess they could do it in response to us playing the second creature or attacking, but depending on how we sequence. So in for 2. Alright, opponent Inspiring Overseer. None of that 3 mana giving -2/-2. Happy about that. Alright, we'll make 1 big chunky guy. I wonder if it's worth throwing a random creature away. Probably not. Oh, actually, I should probably be throwing my scout away. Alright, he blocks anyway. So the logic for throwing away the scout there is it almost guarantees the block in the trade. which enables us to cast Cartouche next turn, and then we can start getting flying damage in through for free. Chainer's Edict. Alright, it begins. Alright, so we find Cartouche. That's a pretty darn good draw. Goodness. The way they run that out last turn with the Edict and doing nothing else makes me think that they have like maybe double Edict effect in hand. I don't want to get double Edict, so I'm going to slow roll the Cartouche to play around Edict. You should note that we have lethal either way with Cartouche because it's a +3, so we have lethal in the air. Alright, Battle Rager, ETB, Initiative. Whenever it becomes blocked by a creature, its controller loses 5 life. Alright, cool. So we just win in the air. GG's to our opponent. Alright, and swinging into that sweet, sweet victory. Okay, welcome back for match number 4 versus Gattu's. We lost the die roll this game. Our opponent's mulligan to 6. We'll keep our 7. A little bit awkward mana efficiency wise. We are on the draw. If we hit that land, we get to tempo out like pretty well. Looks like potentially an Elves deck. Last time I played this deck, I got destroyed. I guess we'll see if this is any different. If it is, it's going to start with us drawing Forest. Otherwise, we're just going to get wrecked on tempo. There's no way around it. It's not Forest. Could commune, look for land, develop one more turn. We could Abundant Growth, try to high roll land. I think we just commune. Alright, we find Forest. Play Forest. Topia Sprawl for white and no attacks. So interestingly enough, our Glade Cover Scout is buffing our opponent's Timberwatch Elf. So that's potentially a frustrating interaction we're going to have to deal with here. I think the best play, albeit a slow one, is attack for 3, gain 3 life. I would like to unload more than that, but I don't think we can. Without like an ethereal armor effect being naturally drawn here, I think we're probably just not going to be quick enough. Alright, opponent finds double Mystic and Sentinel. Off of that lead the Stampede. And another Timberwatch Elf. Alright, so they're really setting up. They didn't play any of the ones they drew. Alright, we'll start off with Cartouche, give flying. After that we can Rancor to give a bit of extra damage / life gain. And we can try to win this race in the air. First Strike is potentially nice in future turns. Maybe if our opponent's blocking with a reach creature and looking to buff it. Don't forget though, they do have like 12 damage. Okay, wait a minute. I just completely blanked on that. Okay. Unfamiliar with the deck, and that's a shame concession from me. So not a whole lot to bring in from the sideboard here. Young Wolf could probably make an arguable chump blocker. I think mostly we just want to run it back and hope to high roll. We really need to be fast and efficient here. Like those slower game like hands like what we had, not going to cut it against Elves. It's also going to be harder post-board after our opponent brings in Enchantment Hate, the 2-mana Convoke spell. It's a scary one. Alright, so Ledgewalker is kind of a nice creature because it's hard for our opponent to block. Sand is kind of awkward and slow. It's mana inefficient. Like, we can turn 1 Sprawl into Ledgewalker on turn 2. Then there's 1 mana floating. And then we can't double Cartouche. So I think we can do better. And I think the play's mulligan. This is not better. At the point where we're mulling to 5 as well, we almost just automatically lose to Enchantment Hate. So that's a bit unfortunate. I think we want better than that first hand, though. Our 5 is also garbage. Opponent has kept 7, by the way. I guess we'll keep whatever this is. And bottom. This is, like, so horrible. I guess, like, we need the card draw from Cartouche, but, like, it's a turn 3 play, and we're not guaranteed to draw a land in either of our turns 2 or 3. We could try and high roll the damage, but, like, what's the point? Like, we just scoop to that. I'd rather high roll the land here and then maybe rebuild and do stuff rather than high roll them not chump blocking once. Tapping, mana, Quarian Ranger. Bouncing land with Quarian Ranger, untapping, player another Bichlor. Alright, so Cartouche, draw a card. Attack. Well, that gives us Armadillo Cloak in the air next turn. No reach creature yet. Alright, opponent Distant Melody into drawing 4. Alright, a whole bunch of small guys. 6 cards in hand still. Holy crap. We are toast. A second Distant Melody drawing 7. Alright, opponent played a bunch of other guys. I can see 1 creature with reach. We hit commune. I don't think it matters. Let's filter into white. Like, they've got a creature with reach, but they don't have one that buffs yet, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see the one that gives +X/+X. Like, yeah, a super weak attack. Let's go. Masked Vandal. Goodbye, Clokey. That's kind of lame. Before then, we were, like, getting kind of close to beating our opponent. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. They don't have any creatures in their graveyard. They don't get to destroy our Clokey. Good. Alright, so opponent put meat in the tavern, in the bin. They attack for a bunch on the ground. I think that's just lethal. I think we go to, like, neg 10 here. Neg 12. Yeah, GG. So draw a card for a turn. Look at the top 4 cards. 2, 3, 4. I guess it's 5 because we can abundant into it. So we hit, like, another cloak. There's still no, like, armadillo. There's still, like, no ethereal armor or mask or anything. We're just, like, super dead there. That is, like, the Elves matchup, though. I think if you want to beat the Elves matchup, maybe, like, a really well-placed gut shot in games 2 and 3 could help. Really, like, stifle your opponent's mana. And then look to just win on tempo. Because if we had, like, an extra 2 attacks, we would have potentially, like, taken that, right? Yeah, because we could have activated our Cave of Temptation into making our creature have 7 power, and that, like, 2 attacks from 7 power is lethal. So it's probably just gut shot and not getting horribly lucky with hands and mulligan luck. Alright, welcome back for match number 5. Lost the Doro's first tap, untap, and, well, we mulligan to 5 straight off the bat. It's a bit of a pooper. We'll keep Mask, ditch Mask Commune. Keep Sprawl, Cartouche. I think that's right. Alright, opponent plays basic Swamp and oh, it's looking lovely right off the front of things into a potential main deck edict. Alright, opponent wastes no time. It's not an edict, but he enters the battlefield and explores. So, revealing Chittering Rats. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a card from their hand on top of their library. Funky. I guess we sprawl for blue here. Attack for 2 in the air. Drawing a card in the process. Just ignoring edict because we can't beat an edict. So I find abundant growth off of that. And I guess we get like a couple of cantrips here. Yeah, just like dead to edict. That's fine. I mean, we already knew this. Opponent misses land drop. Hey, a guy. Cool. I like guys. Alright, so we get one guy. We can't mask. Opponent attacks, 3 mana up. So they did miss their land drop in the previous turn. Okay. They tap and untapped there, bizarrely. I mean, they could have Diabolic Edict, which is like instant speed, right? I think our best bet is just ignoring the Diabolic Edict and just playing into it. So, nice attack for 6 here. It's the best clock. Edict will concede. So Suffocating Fumes, cool. Yeah, we concede. That's fine. Shit happens. Opponent is literally all main deck hate for our deck. And typically, like, the decks that run Edict at the moment are the Grixis decks that don't run at main deck because Kark Clan Shaman is just really, really strong. So we do have Young Wolf here. We have Cartouches as well. Of the Solidarity. I think flying is probably our weakest stat here, so we'll just look to take out that, bring in the Young Wolf. No green mana, throw like what would have been a really good hand. Alright, throw this as well, no creature. Opponent keeps a 7, by the way, like just no trouble whatsoever, just gets that free 7. Whatever, I guess we keep this 5, it's like super rubbish. Like, what do we do though? We can't just like keep mulling to like 2 cards to hit basic land and a hexproof creature. Like, just like super bad luck. Opponent has a card called Divest, which just, yeah, okay, cool. No stress, opponent. Literally is just playing a deck that just reads Bogle player losers. And like, suppose that is fine if you hate the deck, you hate that being in the metagame. But I'm not sure how this deck actually goes into other decks in the metagame. I think it just has a good matchup here and pretty average matchups elsewhere. Like, I can't see this beating fairies, for example. Alright, well, I mean, after our mulligan to 5, turn 1 losing our creature, turn 3 losing our next guy to an edict effect. I mean, like, yeah, I'll just concede here. This is no point here. Alright, so that was a pretty interesting league, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Unfortunately, we couldn't put in any more work in the final 2 games. We low-rolled the mirror matchup, and our opponent had the superior mirror sideboard. So we didn't get there in that. And then we versed 2 decks, which are probably like mainly unbeatable for us in the matchup. I know playing a linear aggro strategy like Bogles, you're going to run into those, so that's fine. You accept it as a risk of running the deck. But the final 2 games, like, we're probably like about a 2% to win, right? Having said, like, I'm still happy with the configuration of the deck and running it as it is. If I would do anything, it's potentially looking at sideboard slots. So like Flaring Pain could maybe go down to a 2 of. And then bringing in, I think like minusing one other card as well. Maybe a Blue Elemental Blast. And bringing in like 2 free Wind Falcons. So this card is kind of an interesting one for a few reasons. Firstly, it's kind of good against Cart Clan Shaman, can't be dealt damage. You will have to play around Edicts afterwards, but just dodging the Shaman is kind of nice initially. Secondly, it's a good chump blocker in the burn matchup, which is a difficult one. I think destroying their creatures can be strong, but also chump blocking them out of existence, as long as they don't have double strike trample, is also a very, very viable option. So I'll probably run this list next league with the adjusted sideboard. It was something I was thinking about for a little while. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. You know what to do with all your buttons, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.